Little Ruby action. What up, guys?
What up, guys? Welcome back to Pedro DoorDash Santiago, back at you with another daily vlog. Today is Friday, 12:15. Got a late start, had some things going on this morning. But today, we are going to talk about a few things I wish I knew on my first day. I've talked about some of this, months ago or whatnot, but I know a lot of new people come to this channel. So some things I wish I knew when I first started that would have saved me time, headaches, agony, stress, would have maybe allowed me to make more money, drive less miles, wait less at certain merchants. So I'm going to give you some of the things, a few things, handful of things that I wish I knew from the beginning. Also, we're also going to talk about how I think this is my opinion, in most markets, you can make $100 a day, minimum. Now, it will be dependent upon how long you go out. Some of us, it could be 3 hours it takes, some 4, some 5. I think in most markets, if you can dedicate 5 hours of your time, you should be able to make $100, $20 an hour. I think that that's extremely reasonable. And we're going to talk about a few things I think you can do to make sure you achieve that goal if you're currently not doing it now. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing you got to know, you do not have to take orders that are bad. Acceptance rate doesn't matter. I've been down to 0% twice in my DoorDash life. Do not feel like you need to take orders. Doesn't matter. The acceptance rate on your rankings is going to look red sometimes. Doesn't matter. Do not take bad $2, $3, $4. Now, what I mean by that is you should have a miles to money ratio. We've talked about that many times. Mine is $2 per mile. So if an order's showing five miles, it's got to be about $10 for me to take it, okay? But you do not have to take bad orders like this one right here. I recommend never taking an order like this under any circumstances. You just got to stay away. Be patient. Know your market, but it's always better to wait a little bit. These orders are historically going to get you. You're not going to make money on these. You're not going to be profitable taking $2, $3, $4 orders. Stay away at all costs. All right, we're waiting on an order, but we're going to talk about the second thing I wish I knew. Now, you're going to have hotspots that show up on your Dash app, or if you know your area, there's going to be areas that you feel could be busy for you, right? Test your market out, see which areas you like to be in. Some of you guys might have to drive 20, 30 minutes. Some of you might only have to drive a couple. But when you get to an area, don't just drive around looking for orders and waiting for good ones to come in. When you get to a spot where you've got a lot of things around you, stop, park, sit, wait. Gas is money, right? And the more you're driving around just waiting for orders and hoping and praying that they're going to come in, you're actually losing money because you're driving on your gas. All right, we're almost at our first destination. 625. It was going 3 miles. I said, we can definitely do that. Another thing, have a plan when you start your shift. How many hours you're going to work, what zone you want to be in, what area do you want to try to stay in. DoorDash will send you zones to zones, 10, 15 miles. Maybe only 6 miles, but out of your zone and not leaving you in a desirable spot to get that next order right away. Sometimes you got to be patient, wait a little bit, and work your plan. But you got to have a plan. You got to have a monetary goal, and we all should have that. That's basic. But what area do you want to work in, and what streets and merchants do you want to pick up from? You can control that, okay? Don't allow DoorDash or these other apps to dictate what orders you're going to take. Take what you want. If you're in a busy market, definitely. If you're in a slower one, maybe you got to take what you can get till you learn that area really well. But be patient. Patience is very important when you're doing this kind of work, because you're going to have a run of 30 minutes, maybe less, maybe more, but of just really bad orders coming in. And you got to know, you know what? I know my worth. This is my plan. I'm going to stick to it. And that can be very, very helpful, because driving around, wasting gas, going out of your zone when you don't want to, time is money in this gig world. And having a plan and allowing yourself to know, I want to do 3 or 4 hours an hour, 3 or 4 orders in an hour. And if I do this one taking me this way, I might not be able to do that. Unless the payout's big, work your plan. All right, you got it. You guys see all those orders there? DoorDash is most of us know. They're going to stack orders often, at least in my market, especially when it's busy. When they stack them, let me give you a quick example. There are going to be times where it'll show $10, 3 miles, $10, 5 miles, whatever it is. Good order, right? But one of those could be $8, one could be $2. A lot of times DoorDash will stack a bad one with a good one to entice you to take it. You can unassign that $2 order. You tap on, real quick, we're gonna talk about it. Tap on the question mark, tap on the order you don't want, the one that's $2, right? It'll show you, just simple math. Click on can't do this order, select the reason why, move on. What DoorDash will do is they will send you can unassign one like that. And if it's busy right away, they can send you another one right away that's better. Don't waste time going to maybe another merchant or another drop-off for $2 or $3. Move on. Take the good one at face value for $8 for 3 miles versus working and spending more time to make $2. When you drop that $8 one off, you could be on your way to a better paying offer, more than $2, right? You got to be able to do those things. Use your unassigned game. You can go down to 80%. I wish I knew that my first day. I think it cost myself a little bit of money not knowing that. So as you start to get to know your market a little bit, okay, make sure you're taking mental notes or notes in your phone or notes on a notepad of the merchants that are slow, that are fast, the ones you can count on, the ones that you never want to go to again, okay? Give them a couple chances, but historically, if you go to that Wendy's and it's 30-minute wait every time, it's never going to be worth it for you. It just can't. You'll get frustrated, long waits, you're wasting time. Time is money. You want to go historically where you know you can go in and it's 5 minutes or less, or it's already ready, or if it's a big payout like an Outback Steakhouse or something and you're willing to wait 15, 20 minutes, that's fine. But there are going to be drive-through lines like McDonald's and Wendy's that are going to be super long a lot of the times. Stay away from them. You got to give them a shot or two, but stay away and make sure you're remembering that location when it comes through the app that, hey, I have issues there. I'm not going to go back. All right. Another quick tip. You get tax credit from the government when you do your taxes if you track your miles. Now, some people use Stride, some people use QuickBooks. There's a lot of different things you can use. Use it, use one that works for you. Tracking your miles is going to save you anywhere between 50 cents and 57 cents or whatever it is per mile as a tax deduction for when you're out doing gig work. Not just regular, taking the kids to a movie, but when the miles you're putting on your car while doing gig work can be tax deductible. Make sure you're tracking that stuff. Also, get with the licensed professional, maybe somebody that somebody you use for your other taxes at your W-2 job, and see what kind of deductions you might be eligible for. Keep receipts of things like that so that you can save yourself some of those tax dollars or get some of those expenses back at the end of the year. Now, this one's a true time saver. Now, you could either use the in-app chat for DoorDash support if you run into an issue, or you could call. A lot of times when I've called, I've actually had good experiences and the waits aren't too bad. Sometimes you call, the wait's a long time. Now, if you run into an issue, for example, you get to a store, they're super behind, it's $7, it's going 3 miles, it's busy, and you're like, I wanted this order, but they're telling me it's going to be 20 or 30 minutes. You can unassign that order by yourself by hitting that question mark and following the prompts. Or if there's an issue, you could call DoorDash support. They could do it. Maybe it doesn't affect your completion rate. Either way, know when is a good time to call and you're willing to have that conversation about the issue you're having, or move on. Don't waste the time, unassign, and get you on to the next order. A lot of times we're going to run into crazy issues and we want to be heard. We want DoorDash support to know what's going on, and we want them to know we're upset about something. Listen, I get it. I've done it many times. But what I've learned right now is it doesn't really matter. There are very few situations to where I've called and maybe they've given me an extra amount of money, but that happened only one time, right? At the end of the day, time is money, and I just unassign or I keep it moving, and I do not call to complain about DoorDash to the support agent. They work with DoorDash. They are not DoorDash. They're reading off a script. There's limited to what they can do for you. And they're basically just going to say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So if you want that, go ahead and call. I suggest unassigning, moving on, canceling orders, whatever it is, and get to making that money, because the support agent isn't going to be able to do much for you most of the time. All right, another one that's important. When you make that first week, let's say you make $500 and you're excited. I make $500. I worked 3 or 4 days. It's great. But what did you really make? Out of that 500, what was your take home? What was your profit? You got to remember, You got to put a little bit aside for taxes. How much gas did you spend? What were your other expenses? That $500 could go down to $250, $300, $200, $400. It's going to be different for you based on gas, mileage, car depreciation, how much you're putting away. Crunch your numbers after that first week or two or the first month. I want you to sit down, look at your earnings. You should be calculating how much I spent on gas, how much am I putting away for savings, for taxes or whatnot. Did I have another expense that week that wouldn't have been normal for me? Did I eat out a lot because I'm out in my car and I'm always grabbing snacks as I'm there? Those are costs that eat away at that $500. What is your profitability? Okay, not your gross. What's your net? What's your EBITDA? What did you make in your car for that $500? Okay, you got to figure out what that number is and see, is it really worth it for you? Did you have a good week? Did you have a bad week? Just because you're busy and you got that big earnings at the end of the week doesn't mean that you made all that money. Do your homework, crunch the numbers, figure out what your true dollar amount that you're putting home and you're taking home. What is that true amount for you? That will tell you if this is worth it for you. Are you making the right decisions? You need to be more selective. After the first week or two, I challenge you to crunch those numbers. I didn't do it in the beginning. Okay, so scheduling dashes versus dashing now. I, in the beginning, was scheduling dashes because I thought maybe that's what I had to do. Now, in your market, it could be different. But I'm going to say something that might be controversial to some, but I've been thinking a lot about it. A lot of people ask me, so my acceptance rate right now is 16%. It's gotten down to 0 twice. It's been in the 40s just like about a month ago. It bounces around based on like what kind of orders I get, okay? As it should for you as well. Like I said, AR, acceptance rate, does not matter, okay? It doesn't. And if people that have been doing this long enough, that make good money, that cherry pick, will tell you the same thing. Now, some of you say, Pedro, how can you dash now? And you don't have to schedule, but your acceptance rate's so low. I thought that was the top dasher perk. Listen, I think DoorDash obviously wants as many orders to be completed. They want us to take everything. That it doesn't matter to them if we're making money or not. They want us to be happy and making money, but at the end of the day, there's so many of us. They want those $2, $3, $4 orders. They want those $8 orders going 20 miles to be completed. That's how they make their money. That's how they keep and retain their customers. However, I always dash now. And my acceptance rate hasn't been over 70 for, I don't know, maybe the first month that I dashed. I think they tell us, be able to dash now. Don't worry about scheduling. Keep your acceptance rate 70%. It's a perk of being a top dasher. I think it's baloney. I would challenge my top dashers. Why don't you not be top dasher for a month? See if you can still dash now. Do you really need to? Do you really need that? Now, each market's going to be different. You got to know your market. You got to know what works for you. If you're a top dasher and you're making money, hey, a lot of people tell me that they think they get great offers. That's fine. I get really bad ones and I get really good ones. My opinion is 25% of customers do not tip on the app. So 25% of the orders are just complete. You should never take them. Another 25 are customers that are tipping, but maybe the distance is too far. That's a personal decision based on your miles to money, based on your market, based on the effort and the miles you want to put on your car. So 25% are trash. The other 25 maybe aren't good based on miles. So now we're at 50%, okay? For a lot of us, 50% is maybe that's where you take half the orders. That makes sense then. For me, I'm usually about in the 20s. So 25% of my orders are profitable for me. I can make money. It's a good merchant. Boom. The other 25 for me, and I think a lot of us, are just places we don't want to go. Long wait times, rude staff, procedures and things not in place. So it's just long waits and it's just not great. Okay, orders are maybe too big, like Walmart. You don't want to have a lot of groceries, or maybe there's shop and pay like CVS, Walgreens, Hy-Vee, Bed Bath & Beyond, Petco. Maybe you don't want to do those, right? For me, I think only 25% of orders are worth taking. That's my opinion. I think the other 75 fall in those other areas, okay? But if you're thinking you got to be a top dasher to dash now, I don't know that that's true. I'm over 4,000 deliveries. I've been doing this full-time since January 4th of this year, and I did a part-time last year. I don't have to schedule my dashes. Your area could be different, but it's something to think about, and I wish I knew that in the beginning. Also, today's slow for me so far, but I started late. sometimes you got to know when to take an L. Take the L. If you're not making money and you could be doing something else, making money doing something else, or spending time with the family, if it's not popping, don't just sit around. Maybe go home and start a new day. Don't let the slowness frustrate you. Don't let it take your energy. And when it's busy, stay out maybe a little bit longer and make that money to make up for the days where it's going to be slow. Now, I know I've done a lot of rambling, but I like to do that sometimes because I got to get this craziness out of my brain into some people that might agree or not agree. But take it for what it's worth for you and how you can implement some of these things, okay? I'm going to try to get some orders here, but I want to leave you, in the beginning I talked about, I think any market you can make $100 a day by working 5 hours. I think $20 an hour is reasonable. A lot of us make more than that. Some of us might make less. Maybe it's 16 or 18 for a particular week. I think 20 is an achievable goal on average because you're going to have hours where you're making 25 and you have an hour when you're making 15. $20 an hour is good. Now, I think most of us can do 3 orders in an hour on average. Sometimes only 2, sometimes 4. 3, I think, is a magic number for most of us. 3, 3.5 on average. So, in order to make $20, you just got to have each order be $7, let's say. That's $21. Now, some of you might not take a $7 order. I do. $7 going a couple miles all day long. $6.25 going a mile? Absolutely. $6.25 going 3. I just did it. I'll do that as well, depending on the time and the merchant. But if you can just do 3, be patient and get 3 orders that are averaging $7 a piece. And every once in a while, you're going to have a $10, $11, $12 order in there. But you might have a $6 order. 3 an hour will get you to that. And if you can dedicate 5 hours of your day that you're dashing, some are going to do more, some are going to do less. You can make $100, I think, in any market. I believe you plot me in most markets, I can do that. Now, I also recommend having another app, whether it's Uber or Grubhub. Have them both on, pick and choose which ones come in. It allows you to get as many orders that are out there in the gig app universe to your phone or your phones, and you can select the best ones that work for you. If you're dependent just on one app, you're limiting the amount of money you can make and the amount of good orders that you could be seeing. All right, so everything I said today is not rocket science. It's actually really easy stuff. But when we're starting, we do get excited and we don't know. And even when we've been doing it a while, we just get used to doing what we think we have to do based on what other people tell us, based on what the DoorDash app tells us. We have to be this, we have to do that, keep your acceptance rate up, take all these orders. They're going to stack orders and, they're going to add things to your route that are going to make you feel like you need to take it. Listen, do what works for you, but I can't stress enough, we're betting on ourselves, right? That's why you're doing this side work. You're already a hustler. You need to do it for a particular reason. Maximize the money you can make or limit the amount of time it takes you to do that so you can enjoy other things that you got going on in your life, okay? You got to also know the law of averages will work itself out in this particular world with this gig apps. You're going to have times I just made $6.25 in 1 hour. I've been out for 1 hour, I made $6.25. Now, am I going to do that every hour? Absolutely not. Think of it like a basketball player, right? Michael Jordan averages 30 points in a game for his career. Okay? Did he score like 7.8 points per quarter? No, absolutely not. He had a quarter when he had 20. The next quarter he had 2. Then maybe he had 6, and then he had 4. The average is going to be there. That $30 is going to be there, okay? Or the 30 points are going to be there. It's an average. So be patient. Don't get flustered. Don't get worried. Oh, I just made $6.25. It sucks. Yeah, you know what? It does suck. Absolutely it sucks. I probably spent about $2 in gas to make the $6.25. But later I'll have a $30 hour, a $40 hour. I'll have a great order that was $11 going 0.9 miles. It happens all the time, okay? Know your averages. Be patient. Don't worry about the hour you just had. Try to think about the one that's coming up. Listen, you guys are fantastic. I've rambled enough. I was going to give you some pickups and drop-offs, but it's just not happening today. But I wanted to give you guys just my brain and my thoughts today. I hope you guys got something from it. Leave in the comments below what I missed. How long you been doing dashing? What market you in? What market are you in? Anything you want the community to know, put down below. I'll respond to everything. Don't forget, we're almost at 10K subs. We'll probably be there in about 2 weeks' time. And we got that big giveaway coming up. I'm giving away $500 combined to 5 people. So 5 people are going to split that 500, $100 a person. Go to the giveaway video I had last week. Drop a comment. That's how you're entered in for the giveaway. And I'll be announcing those 5 winners live on one of the Sunday live shows at 9 o'clock. You guys are fantastic. Bet on you, set goals one day at a time. See you tomorrow.